Hello. Welcome. Hopefully everything's working okay, should be. So, Thomas is going to join us any moment, I think, but I just had something come up in my mind that I was thinking of. Um, Falcon Heavy, or I guess, yeah, this would be Falcon Heavy. Um, Remember when they launched the car into space and everybody was laughing about how fake it looks and everything? It seems kind of weird to me that none of the people with eyes to see ever had it cross their mind, or I didn't see anyone that had it cross their mind the way that it crosses my mind. What if, let me go so I can play this. What if this was real? Just hear me out. What if this was this car going into space, this launching of the car going into space? Let's see here. Let me get it playing. What if this was real? Okay, hold on just a second. Okay. What if this was real and this was real footage? Now everyone says space is a hoax, NASA's lying, SpaceX is faking it. But let's run a scenario through our heads and just think about something. What if this was real? This is a 4-hour video of this car from like 3 different angles, and it just keeps switching cameras for, I think it's let's see here, it's 4 hours and 13 minutes. Do you think that if the possibility of this being real was true, that there might be something to learn? There's Tommy. There might be something to learn from this video. What's up, Tommy? Skyview. Let's see.
What's
I
up?
don't. Oh, I can hear you. Um, how are you?
Another day, another
Another
dollar.
day. You're in between, or you're what do you call that? Just parked?
Yeah, it's called a restart. When you run your 70 hours up, you got to take 34 hours. You got to shut down for 34 hours.
So you're sitting there till Monday morning,
Yeah, Sunday. Well, yeah, Monday morning. Like
Sunday
I'm gonna
night,
leave here like
Monday morning. Um, so I don't know if you were able to hear what I was talking about. This car launching into space. So
right.
what I was trying to point out was, what if this was real, and all the people, the flat earthers or whatever you want to call them, all the people. Thank you, Tony. Tony says 5x5, and all the people just discounted all this footage and just said, "Ah, it's fake. They're faking it. That's in a studio. That's underwater." Let me just play this in the background. Do you think there might be something we could learn about a outer darkness by watching this and studying
Definitely
it
see
or
a,
researching it?
I definitely see a lot of stuff floating around in the background.
And it's not all going in one direction. It's not all going up. I mean, there's a lot of them that are going up, but they're going in. There's some that like pass it by, and then you see all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure. Well, and here's the thing, and this is something that we had uh entertained talking about, is well, here's one way we could do it too, Thomas. We could show people the Starship program. We could show them what they're doing there in Texas, and now what they're doing at 39A in Cape Canaveral. They're
yes, sir.
building huge launch mounts and these huge things, and it's hilarious to me that the idea that they're just faking it. That just is so um
They sure
first
are
of
hauling a lot of material,
yeah,
metal and iron and stuff like that to build balloons.
and doing very specific things to rocket engines, and designing different things, pushing things. I like to use this example. Um Anybody that has ever watched, I've never seen it in real life, but Top Fuel, drag racing.
Yeah.
That is the height of when it comes to like speed or going
RPM.
moving. That's the
Yep.
height of our technology in this world. Like when I like to say when the rubber meets the road, because that's what it's all about. In that they can make engines strong enough to go fast, but
No doubt.
the rubber has to connect onto that tar in order for you to move. What is it? 300 miles an hour in 4 seconds from
Yeah.
zero. It's an amazing amount of power that is released in that 4
They
seconds.
do. They do that out in the desert too. They break records out there. They go
Yep.
across the desert.
Yep. I think they've gone like, haven't they gone like the speed of sound
Oh yeah, I think so.
with like on the salt flats or something?
Don't you have a
But
don't you have a RPM thing? You said I seen one of your videos a long time ago where you had a what was it, your Mustang or something?
oh, maybe I don't know what you mean. Like I do have a video. I think my first video I ever uploaded was me taking my Mustang and going like kind of fast.
No, you had one where you had it on the RPM thing. You were setting it up. You had it running, and they were checking the
Oh yeah,
RPM on it.
like a dyno. Yeah, it made
Yeah,
what did it
is
make?
that
It made
yours or
5. Yeah, that's mine. It was
wow?
500 and
So-
what was it?
Yeah,
13.
horsepower.
Yeah,
It was fast.
513 horsepower, and that's
That's a
at
cool machine you got there.
well, no, that was just my motor. But
Oh,
the machine, I don't even want to know what that cost. That we
I
had to
was
bring
gonna
my
say.
motor. We had to bring my motor to that place, and then we hooked it
Oh,
all
okay.
up to that
Yeah.
machine. And so, yeah, that's probably a crazy expensive thing. But um, I guess the point I think maybe we'll end up talking about this, but I want to uh read the chat today. You know what I mean? I
Right.
just want to make sure I want to make sure that we pretty much see every comment at least. Roderick says,
Interactive
"Does
chat.
dark matter?" That was awesome. That's what
Yeah,
I
it
should
was.
have titled this video. And Tony's Coffee House is here. GR Cleve, Deb Woods, Tiger Bear, Barlow McMaster, and Cliff Santos. Welcome, guys. Tony says, "Hey, check this out." Let's see. I wonder if I can. I do have a YouTube thing going. Let me see if I can open that up on a different page.
Oh, there's a lot of comments already.
Is there? Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
7 likes. So here's what one thing I wanted to point out about this dumb video of this car and this floating in space is that there's a few parts in the video, and I don't know exactly where they are, so I'm not going to try to find them, but there's a few parts in the video where the sun is like shining and making that like lens flare, so it's kind of like light blue. Let me see if I can find it. I can find it. I know where it is, but it's hard to get there on a 4-hour video like this. Oops, it's not on there yet. It must be a couple seconds behind. That's weird.
I'd say something about that.
Okay, I was
video.
watching the YouTube, so it's a little bit behind. Sorry.
That's definitely not,
funny.
if that car has pressurized tires in it, it's definitely not in the area that they think the physics that they say. It's definitely not there.
I'm sure they just pulled the stems out of the tires, so they wouldn't have an issue there. But do you see that blue color there? It's like washing out the image.
Yeah.
In some of the parts where it's like this, I've seen things fly across the screen.
Right.
And I don't know what they are. It's just like light that goes across the screen, like flying across, like an orb, whatever people would call an orb, probably.
Right.
And Deb Woods is right. She says the ballers behind it looks so fake. And here's the thing. This is another indoctrination that the devil has brought in. And it's to look at the globe and think that that's just a painting that someone made and that no one actually ever saw that. And what I believe is not like that. I believe that that's what people see when they go up there.
Me
But
too.
that doesn't make the earth a globe.
Nope.
That's one of the things is when they're on the space station and they're do time lapses. The part of the globe that they see is such a small part of the world that it spins like five. It looks like it spins like 5 times to do one revolution. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're not getting like they're not seeing the curvature of the Earth. Even if they see that curve, that's not the curvature of the Earth. Let me see if I can find a part where I'm talking
You know
about
what I
that right
always
there.
think? You know what I always say?
What's that?
I say, imagine the rainbow. Now imagine yourself above the rainbow and looking back down at the rainbow.
Yeah, what's it going to look like?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? That's funny that you bring up the rainbow. Um, have you been listening? Has YouTube been suggesting NDEs to you?
Who?
NDEs, like near death experiences, like people's
No.
stories.
I get
Okay.
enough of those in the semi.
Yeah, I suppose. um, but yeah, that's something that's been coming on my YouTube a lot.
Oh yeah.
Um,
That's
and
weird.
it's I guess the weird part about is that so many of them say the same things, which is because now there's channels on YouTube that all they do is they either the like one of the channels is it I don't even it's Heaven Awaits. And let me just do this. I'm gonna change my I don't want to look at this car anymore. It gets boring. Um I don't know how to do that though. There we go. How's that?
Back to the moon.
Yep. Back to the moon. Back to the
When I give
moon.
when I give people your channel, I always say, look for the moon logo.
Cliff Santos says, do not know about the car. It was a dummy payload to test a rocket. And they were gonna send this car to Mars, and it was a big deal. It was like I don't know what you call it. Like a
Waste of money.
publicity stunt, kind of, I guess. Um, but there's a lot of people just say it's fake, and I'm like, compare. Okay, if you want to talk about the top uh, technology in the world, as far as horsepower, you're going to be talking about thrust from rocket engines. You know, like a car for a train. Like I'm sorry, I'm having brain fart. A locomotive or whatever. What's the car that drives it? What's that one called?
Oh, that's the
Locomotive? I don't know. but you guys know what I'm talking about. The one
they
with the
call it
diesel
they
engine.
call it the yeah, they call it the engine.
The engine. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they call it the engine.
and it has diesel engines and some of those
Yep.
just for like a reference. Let me let me do this. We'll do a little research on here. I just want to let's see here. We'll go to a new tab. Horse power of terrain. This is crazy stuff. Okay. In most trains, the power ranges anywhere between 5,000 to 7,000 horsepower. Okay. Now, let's just change. Can you guys see that even? Oh, you know what? I have to turn the color off. I had the color correction on so we could see the bubbles better. There. Sorry. And then I'm going to I'll make it bigger here. How do I do that? Right here. That's supposed to do it. Oh, I don't have my camera on. There we go. It's not working. Oh, maybe it's because I have Cliff's comment showing. Sorry, guys, I'm working on it here. I have no idea how to do
What
this.
month is your
Oh, there we
birthday,
go.
Joe?
My month of my birthday is in August.
Oh, yours is in August too? Wow.
Yep, August 24th.
What?
24th. Yep.
No way.
Yep. There was a
Mine's
girl
Au-
in my
mine's August
school.
22nd.
There was a girl in my school that had the same birthday. And
That's crazy.
that's the only person I know that had the same birthday.
I said the sky's still here in August. I'll send you a computer for your birthday.
Oh no. I just need to learn. It's the operator error that's going on here. I need to learn to use it better. Okay, so let's take this horsepower of a train and change it to of a rocket. Now I don't know which rocket they're going to be looking at. Great. There's a little
the
bit.
Falcon Heavy
Remember
ain't the
the
Falcon Heavy
train?
the strongest ever?
Actually, it'll be the Starship by far.
Yeah, when
The
Starship
Starship's
goes,
like it's the for mass like payload. It's 1.75 of the Saturn V. So it's almost twice as much ability to lift things into orbit. Do you think that God has a problem with that, Thomas? As a side note,
I think God had a problem with all of it.
yeah, I think so. So let's look at what this says, though. Remember, the train that pulls all those cars had 5,000 to 7,000 horsepower. Okay, the twin solid rocket boosters generate. I don't know. Oh, this is on the space shuttle. Okay, so the big orange tank is fuel, but those two tall, well, they're boosters, rocket boosters. They're solid rocket boosters, so they burn. Like once you light them, you can't stop them. So once they light, they're gonna go until they go out. And those, let's see what it says. They generate a combined thrust of 5.3 million pounds. That equals about 40 million horsepower.
Wow.
Or the energy
makes
of
a train look like a bicycle.
Look at this. Or the energy of 14,700 six-axle diesel locomotives. Or 400,000 subcompact cars. At 149.2 feet tall, the solid rocket booster is only 2 feet shorter than the Statue of Liberty. So that's on the shuttle, and that's small fries compared to what they're doing now.
They say that the Starship is I think they said 75 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. I think that's what it said.
Let's do some research. Hey, and then if in the chat, if you guys have any questions about stuff or whatever, other people seem to like if you put them all in caps. Like if your comment, you do it all in caps, it'll get our attention better probably. So if you have a question,
I did this one time, Joe. Okay. I researched the Falcon Heavy to see, compared to a nuclear power plant, how much power it provided, and it was like, it was like 4.5. It was like 4.5 nuclear power. Or it was like no. It was dams, power dams, like I'm talking about, like rivers that make they make energy off.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. They're
like a power station, like a dam power station.
Yeah.
And it was like 4.5 of those equaled the Falcon Heavy.
Oh wow. They're launching one coming up here in June.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Actually, I think you sent me that, didn't you? You sent me a video, I think, of that. I'm
wondering. I know in November. In November, they're going to have the Dragon on there.
What?
Yeah, in November they're launching the Falcon Heavy. They're launching the Falcon Heavy twice with the Dragon. They're forecasted to. They're going to launch it twice in November with the Dragon.
Is that for that private mission with that Jared guy?
It's supposed to be. I don't know exactly what it is, but I got it right here on I'll look it up again.
Okay.
I got the Starlink. I got the Starlink app.
Okay, so this says I know horsepower is not like something that is like easy to imagine, but what I'm saying is that when you push exhaust gas out from an engine at way faster than the speed of sound into the air, like the air it doesn't seem like it's thick. But stick your hand out of the window when you're going 55 miles an hour. That kind of pressure, or whatever you want to call that force that goes against your hand, it's the strongest thing in this world. It's stronger than solid steel. It's stronger than anything. Wow. I'm just saying a tornado will rip apart literally almost anything. And that's just a tornado.
Yeah.
So a rocket engine shoots out is way more power than a tornado, really, but it's all directed in one direction.
Right.
So it's the power of the winds. Once again, another topic that seems to be ignored by the people who read the book of Revelation. They don't seem to care about the winds or the book of Enoch, the people that they don't want to understand what Enoch was trying to explain about the winds.
Right.
That they are the foundations of this earth. They're the pillars of the earth, and they hold everything together. He furnished
Enoch,
everything with the winds. And there's not only one kind of winds, there's the winds on the earth that do certain things, and then there's winds above the earth in heaven, and they're turning just as we observe the sky turning. So if they go in between these two kind of winds, I think that there's a secret place there in that darkness.
Right.
Awakening Soldier says, I'm a train engineer, and trains cannot operate with more than a 4-degree slope. Ball Earth BS curvature is more than that. You know what? That is, I mean, that's one of the thousands of pieces of evidence that the Earth isn't a ball.
No doubt.
A sphere, not a sphere. I think one of the best ones, and I plan on doing like a video where I visually take a sphere and point, make a fake sun and a globe and go in a dark room or whatever and have the sun be lighting up the globe and talk about seasons. Because that's the dumbest explanation in the world, that seasons are caused by the tilt of the earth, and that the light coming in at that angle makes it winter, and the summer is the more direct sunlight. That's so dumb, because that happens every day. In the morning, that
Right.
angle of light is not, it should be freezing cold in the morning, burning hot at noon, and freezing cold again when the sun goes down. It's a joke. That's not why we have seasons. We have seasons because the sun circles above us, and it's on a cycle of its circle, where it's not just doing a perfect circle. It's getting bigger, like spiraling out and then back in and then back out and then back in. And when the sun's directly above your part of the earth, you have summer. And when it's winter, you can look and the sun's way farther away than it is in the summer. That's Occam's razor. That's what makes sense. The sun's close. It's hot. It's hot outside. It's far. It's cold outside.
Right.
Seems like, and it does explain like the South Pole, the idea of the ends of the earth. What happens if you go farther out from Antarctica or whatever? What if that happens if you keep going? It'll be darkness pretty soon. You know, I don't think anyone's ever been there, but I'm just saying the sunlight only goes so far. Let's see here. Tiger Bear says, oh, rainbows. Have you guys noticed a difference in the rainbow spectrum from the sun as opposed to the moon? Like which color is closest to the sun, moon? I have not. Let me put that one up so you guys can read it. Which color is closest to the sun, moon?
I know the sun's brighter. I know that.
Yeah, 7 times brighter.
I know every time like this morning, it is what it is, man. They were spraying the heck out of it.
Oh, really?
Whether you believe in chemtrails or not, I know they're blocking the sky out. I see it every day.
Stuff was coming out of the back of airplanes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was so bright this morning, man. I could barely see going down. I was coming east towards North Carolina from Tennessee, and it was so bright, man. I had to hold my hand up the whole way almost because I just couldn't see the road.
I can't. When you send me that picture of your truck, dude, I'm jealous. That is one nice rig. Holy cow! You guys should see the truck he's driving. It is so nice. I don't even want to know. I've
seen way nicer.
You've seen nicer? Have you ever driven nicer?
Oh, yeah, I like it. I mean,
that thing is like luxury. It looks like it's Mac.
Yeah, as far as like class, no. These are like the best trucks on the road. But I like the old Peterbilt, the chrome ones. Those are the ones I like. Yeah.
How did this thing probably drives really nice, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It's class, man. It's like a Cadillac.
Yeah,
I'm not
I can tell just by looking at the outside of it. I'm like, whoa, that
if you're
thing.
running a lot of miles, if you're running a lot of miles and the roads are just terrible up north.
Mm.
So as far as bumps and stuff, yeah, this is like
Where
the
you at
best truck.
now?
I'm in North Carolina. I'm at
Oh,
just
cool,
inside North Carolina.
cool.
Yep, on 40.
Is it pretty
I've
hot
been running
there?
up to I've been running up to Illinois for like 3 weeks now. About getting
Man,
tired of it.
Illinois, that's only like 8 hours for me. Like Chicago's only 8 hours for me.
Yeah, I'm running southwest of Chicago out to Michelin.
Okay.
Running a lot of tires.
I
Yeah,
used to date a girl that lived in Milwaukee, so I was over there all the time, over that area.
right.
Tiger Bear
It's
says, if
the
you look up Circle Rainbow, let's find that. Let's see what that's. Hey,
I've
Gary
seen those.
Wybega, good day. Good to see you. If you
They
look up
call
Circle
those
Rainbow for the sun versus the moon, red is on the outside of the circle for the moon and it in the inside for the sun. Interesting.
they call those sun
Interesting.
halos.
So what do they call it?
They call them sun halos. I've seen a triple sun halo in Cocoa Beach one day at the
Oh,
water plant. I'll never forget it.
I think I took a picture of or a video of one of those or a time lapse once. I think I know what you're talking about. It's just like a rainbow ring that goes around the sun, kind of.
Yep. But sometimes
Okay.
you'll see a double and a triple. I've never seen
Yeah.
more than a triple. And then they call them sun dogs. They're on the side of them.
Yeah,
It
I
looks like
saw.
a
I there was a sundog
yeah.
yesterday around the sun, or not around it, but to the left of it.
My question is, because I know growing up, I never seen anything like that. And I work construction, man, so I was always looking at the sky. I
Yeah,
never seen sun halos or anything, sun dogs. Where's all that
I
come
saw
from?
one with the
That's
moon one
something.
time. I took pictures of it. It was weird. It was in the middle of the
What I'm
winter, and
saying
there
is,
was
it's
sundogs
like
or moon dogs.
that's kind of new. That's kind of new in the last 10 years. Because I mean, maybe a rare occurrence a long time ago, you might have seen it, but it's not like it's like every day almost. You're
Yeah.
seeing those things. Something definitely going on.
Hey, let's check this out real quick. I forgot about this. Should play here. Whoops, hold on. Let me pause it. I don't know how to pause it. How do I get full screen? Okay, look at that. There's the moon. This was just recent. It's just recent. I don't know the date. It was probably 3 weeks ago. There was a lunar eclipse, or they call it eclipse, but I don't think that the ground is eclipsing the moon. Myself, the moon is always up in the sky, you guys. Why would they think that the ground is blocking the moon? That's just the moon doing something. Anyway, let's watch this. This is a time lapse I made of that lunar eclipse. It was like 3 hours. I broke it down to just like over 2 minutes or something. There we go. Check that out. Watch the stars. Do you see the stars? They don't go the same speed as the moon. See that one to the left? It's going to sneak behind the moon. Can't see it anymore once the moon gets out of the trees. Sorry about that. So you can't see that one on the left, lower left. It's going to pop out on the right because you see how the moon is going at different speed than the stars are? It's out of focus a little bit. I was actually trying to do a live stream while I was recording this with P1000. You see that star though? See how it's moving to the right? Oh, there's the one that popped out from behind the moon. You know why that happens? Uh-oh, we lost Thomas. We lost Thomas, you guys. Let's see here. Let me just make sure that I hope I didn't knock him off. Okay, let's go back to, let's do this. Let's look at this. Job answered and said, verse 7. Verse 6, look at this. Hell is naked before him, and destruction hath no covering. He stretcheth out the north over the empty place, and hangeth the earth upon nothing. He bindeth up the waters in his thick clouds, and the cloud is not rent under them. He holdeth back the face of his throne, and spreadeth his cloud upon it. He has compassed the waters with bounds, until the day and night come to an end. The pillars of heaven tremble and are astonished at his reproof. So let's see here. I just want to make sure that, let me send Thomas a text. I wonder if he, I don't know what his internet's like where he's at, or his, maybe I guess that would be cell phone service. Let me do this. Let me get a video going. There was a couple of videos that I was looking at, playing, and since Thomas ain't here, we can look at a couple of them. Let me find him though. Ooh, what's this one? I don't even know what this is. 4 minutes long. We're watching it. It's called Blind, or Do You See? And in those days the angels shall return, and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and Medes. They shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them, and they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks. And they shall go up and tread under foot the land of his elect ones, and the land of his elect ones shall be before them a threshing floor and a highway, but the city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their horses. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon Thomas is back. Do we got you there, Thomas? Tommy? Maybe I can't do that while I'm pausing the video. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's maybe because of the layout. Let's do this. You there, Thomas? Something ain't right. Let's go back to the video till we figure it out. Sorry, guys. Upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Stage ground, let's go for flight.
Okay, I'm pausing it again just to check. Thomas, oh, it says you're muted, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my internet up.
Okay, sorry, I just was just wanted
There
to
we
check.
go.
Go
ahead with the show.
Okay, let's what I'm gonna do is, this is Starship, you guys, that's on your screen. Let's just watch this. Now, this, all they're doing with this is they're putting it up in the air and testing it. But I want you to remember, and if you don't know, just keep in mind that the pillars of heaven, and the foundations of the earth, that when, let me think of one of the prophets that talked about it. There's so many that, the powers of the heavens will be shaken and the stars will fall to the earth. Jesus said this. Enoch talked about the powers of the heavens being shaken in great detail. And what was doing it? It was sound that was doing it. It was sound that was coming from what? It was coming from something that men were riding in the sky. This is why this matters. This is why this matters, because I think most people are aware of the sky going to roll back like a scroll and the sky will depart. Well, the prophets show us how. They tell us how it's going to do that. Hey, Corey, welcome. The prophets tell us how this is going to happen. And so that's one of the things that, if you're in the thinking that, oh, it's just all being faked, I think you have a huge surprise coming in your near future. But if you were paying attention to what, let's just watch this a little bit. But this is a real rocket that they launch up, that they're testing, and I personally think that they're doing this. This is the beast system that the prophets talked about, the beasts in the Bible that Daniel described, and the beast that came up from the bottomless pit. That one is, all this is in effort with that, the space station. That's something that men built. I understand that it's men built and it's made of metal and whatever, but it's defiling God's sanctuary. And that is one of the things that is prophesied. It's about 10 kilometers in the air, right when the engine's cut off. So then it starts falling, and they use these flaps to kind of make it do a belly dive. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. So, what do you think, Tommy? Oops. We lost Tommy again, you guys. He was there, and then right when I said, what do you think? He just disappeared. So, oh, there we go. So, he's commenting in the chat here. Sorry, I don't think my internet is going to allow me to stay in the live stream. Probably all the trucks here now. Well, go knock on their window and tell them, turn off your internet. I'm trying to do something here. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this starship. We're going to do some research. I'm just going to show you guys some things that I have, for whatever reason. Oh, I see you sent a private chat too. Thanks, Thomas. Let me go to let's see here. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go to YouTube. I just want to show you guys something. let me figure out how to get that on the screen for you guys. Desktop. Oh, I just have to turn this off is all I have to do. Okay, there we go. All right, you guys can see my YouTube. Okay. Do you guys like the thumbnail I picked here? Dragon has cleared the tower. Did you guys get that? The Tower of Babel on the left? Yeah, the dragon goes way higher than that. Just saying. Even if you think it's being faked, the dragon still goes higher than that. You can go to Florida and watch it. Okay, so we're gonna go to good old Everyday Astronaut. Because he's the only person that's really gotten to tour this Boca Chica place. So now what I'm gonna do is I can't play audio anyway by watching videos. I have to like run it through StreamYard the way I have it set up. So let's see here. Roderick Thomas Morgan says modern day Tower of Babel, and Roderick says yes, we are aware of Build Back Better. Okay, I have to share a joke. I don't remember where I heard it. Okay. Now it's like controversial. So there you go. Everything I seem to do ends up being something like that. But okay. Do you support LGBTQ? I do. Let's get Biden to quit. That was one of the funniest ones I heard. And then I heard another one. This was on Flat Earth Dave's channel. One of the shows he was on, and he premiered yesterday. And it was I'm trying to think of the way he worded it. A mother of triplets said the worst part about having triplets is the 27 months of being pregnant. Get it? 27 months, 9 times 3. Anyway, it's weird when you're live streaming and you say a joke, you don't know if people are laughing. So you're like, there's this awkward pause of quiet. And so I'm like, should I fill that in by me laughing? But then I'd be laughing at my own joke, you know? Okay. We're going to just click on this. Okay. Go up SpaceX's Starship catching robotic launch tower. Okay. Let's do this first. Okay. This was 4 weeks ago. Okay. So this place that we're going to be watching is in Boca Chica, Texas. And Elon is giving a tour to the Everyday Astronaut, just sharing what they're doing there. We're gonna not have volume because we don't need it. But all of the people that are telling me that they're just faking space and space travel is a hoax, because that's half the comments I get on my channel. Space is fake. They're not doing anything up there. It's all fake. There's no satellites. Well, like, I don't want to say to anyone, you should do this, you should do that. But if I would say this, if you're going to have take the stance that it's fake or being faked, then you best stay away from this kind of information that is going on in reality, that they're actually building these things. Why do they have that crane there? Why are they building all these buildings? So that they can fake space? Or is it actually that they're just building these rockets and pushing the limits of propulsion technology or thrust technology or whatever you want to call it? Those are, I don't know what they're called, the high bays or something. So they're building these starships, and what they're trying to do is actually on Monday, the FAA is supposed to approve something, or it's been pushed back like 10 times, but so who knows if they will actually do it. But they're supposed to approve SpaceX to launch their, let's see here. We're gonna, actually, I'll turn the closed caption. Oh, it is on. Okay. It's called the high bay, I guess. So they build the rockets in there. they stack them, they call it. I'm just going to show you guys some of this stuff up close. They are building Satan Sky Dome. That's pretty close, Kansas gal. Let's see here. We're going to go a little further forward and we'll look up a little bit closer at some of this stuff, I think. Okay, right. Let's go right about here. So, yeah, by the way, they have one of the biggest cranes out there in Boca Chica at SpaceX. Yeah, Dwayne Glower says there's a controversy about the moon rock that Apollo 11 donated to Amsterdam. They suspect it is petrified wood. Isn't that interesting? Petrified wood, but then it's supposed to be a rock. That's interesting. Corey says he got so much money, I doubt he's building firecrackers. Yeah, that's the thing too, is okay, see this heat shield? You can read about this in Job 41. I swear. Leviathan's scales. Let me just show you something. Let me just pause it here or back a couple seconds so we can have the scales. There, you see those? Let me just open up Job 41 and just read you something about Leviathan. It's crazy. It sounds like how they talk about a spacecraft re-entering the Earth. Let's see here. I'll go to this 41. Where is it? Okay. Here's his scales. This is verse 15. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. Air? Isn't Leviathan in the sea? So no air can go between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. Interesting. And out of his nostrils goeth smoke. And there's a lot of things that sound like a rocket when they're talking about Leviathan. All I say is that I think that the prophets saw these things and they just said, oh, those are alive. Those are like crazy beasts. And you know what? They're called beasts, you guys. Sorry about that. I didn't need to pause that. Elon Musk calls it a beast. The Falcon Heavy called it a beast. Thomas Morgan says, what's that verse again? Job 41 verse 13, was it? Dwayne says, I suspect Elon's going to do better than Apollo 11. Yeah, I mean the rockets that they're building are much more powerful than Apollo rockets. And see, they haven't even launched one of these into quote unquote orbit yet. And that's what this FAA approval thing's all about. They're trying to get everything ready to do what they're calling its first orbital launch. So what that means is that it's essentially going to leave the Earth's atmosphere. And so that's why it needs all those scales, or those, whatever they call them, heat tiles, heat shield, because when it comes back in, otherwise it'll just melt. It'll just burn up. So those heat shields, they dissipate the heat in a way. Now, isn't that funny? That, like, why do people ignore this? They say nobody can get through the firmament, yet every spacecraft that re-enters Earth's atmosphere, allegedly, the biggest deal about it is the heat shield. It needs a heat shield because plasma forms around the vehicle because it's like 5,000 degrees when they're burning through it. Like, to me, it's just, sorry, we get an ad here. To me, this is not something to ignore. This is not something to ignore. Let's see here. What else do we got? Let's go through. They're talking about these arms catching this ship, which is quite a crazy thing. But okay, let's look at the front of it here. And let's see. We get a close up. Just look at the lockers. Look at the building they've got. What are they? You actually think that people are there faking this? You think this is fake? That doesn't make any sense. Melissa Brias, if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. There went up smoke out of his nostrils and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. And I think that's actually talking about God. So isn't that interesting? Like in the book of Daniel, it says fire, a fire went forth before him or something. It describes God as like almost, or that would be the Ancient of Days. But Corey, you know what? Elon Musk even said that they look like dragon scales. He said that when he was walking by one day by those heat shields. So people are working 24 hours at this SpaceX place. Did you guys know that? 24-hour, they're running 24 hours. They don't stop. So you can, if you like, here's the thing, you can pretend that none of this exists and say space is fake and laugh about it. But to me, it's not funny anymore. It is funny. Like I totally get the comedy end of it. And you guys know that. If you watch my videos, you know that I think there is an element of funny, like ridiculous and pointless, but there's also the result of all of this. Lottie M says, what if they're using these rockets to travel to other lands on Earth? They just tell us that they're going to Mars or the moon. Well, that's just the thing, is that who's they? Who's they? Because what I'll bring it back to this again. If you're a Bible believer, and if you believe what the Apostle Paul told us, then there's a dilemma about, there's something wrong with saying that they're faking space. Because any flat earther probably that thinks that they're faking space, I'm pretty sure that they would say that because sorry, I'm looking at some comments. The reason why they would think that they're faking space is like to cover up to hide the shape of the earth, right? So all this effort is to deceive the world. And most flat earthers would say, yeah, they did deceive the world, including me, right? But the problem is they don't exist, you guys. They are not flesh and blood, I'll tell you that much. They are fallen angels and evil devils in the sky that take shape to draw the hearts of men. These are planets. No pearls before swine says they can afford to build back better, then trash it in the ocean. But they don't even trash it in the ocean now. They landed on either back at close to where it launched, or they landed on a drone ship, like out at sea. They've landed like 122 of them now. 122 of them. That's right, Thomas Morgan. Thomas says, no one's hiding the shape of the earth. We are being shown true creation by the Spirit of truth. That's what kind of deception that we're up against. The whole world for generations has been deceived, and we're waking up in it. We're waking up, and I mean, there's things that it would be insane to argue with. Simple things like, if you pay attention to the ground and the reality that you live in, the ground never moves. It never rotates. It doesn't do anything. It's just stationary, just like the Bible happens to say. So, let's see here. Barlow McMaster says life on Earth is just a test. I think you're right. It is. I think it was like, it's like to prepare for what's after life on Earth. Like, because I think the part after life on Earth is the big part. Let's see here. Let's move along on the video. They're gonna be looking at this a little closer. Yeah, they weren't supposed to film the rocket, and they did get part of it. It doesn't have engines in it yet, but it does actually now. Now they actually do have all 33 engines on that. So, another commercial. Sorry, guys. Skip ads. Okay. Let's look at this. Oh, he did cut it into 2 videos. We're going to look at the other video when they go up the launch tower. And because I really think it's interesting that people say that they're faking all this stuff, but yet they're building it all. They're actually building it all. Look at this tower. Let's get it full screen. All I'm trying to point out is that they're not faking it. They're actually doing it. So if that's a surprise to you, or if you think, no, that's impossible, they can't go to space. Well, I think you should look a little closer. Aren't you a truther? Aren't you interested in the truth? They're actually doing these things. Let's see here. Look at this crane. That's a SpaceX crane. That's a small one. Why do they have the cranes there? Why do they have 7,000 employees or whatever working 24-hour shifts? Why do they have this guy running the elevator for him? Oh, is he an actor? He's probably an actor. Do you get what I'm saying? This is just people doing what people do, you guys. So they're going up this tower. This is a launch tower. And I just want you to pay attention to the background, the things that are in the tower. What are all these lines for? What are these big hinges for? All these air pistons. And I'm just saying, just pay attention. Be a truther instead of just like ignoring these things. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I just want to encourage people to expand their thinking, instead of acting as if you know the truth. I think it all comes down to follow the lamb wherever he goes. Like, we don't know what the truth is. That's what I'm trying to say. We're following, like when you first heard about flat Earth, how did that strike you? Was it like, whoa, that's stupid, or that's weird, or whatever? Okay. Did you know the truth right then? No. You learned it by researching and by the Holy Spirit. That's how you learned it. But so they're 400 and some feet in the air right now, and the crane is still above them. That's crazy. So anyway, I'm not trying to make this all boring and take too long, but some of the things that are said here are pretty crazy when they're talking about Mars. Let me see if I can find the importance of making humans multiplanetary. There's a possible outcome. The key to making life multiplanetary is a fully reusable rocket. That's the key. Let me just, you guys know why he says that, right? I just saw Phil's comment. What do we got here? If the firmament is a dome, wouldn't the height of it be similar to the width of the Earth? So firmament is 100s of miles high, aka space. I think that my understanding is that the firmament is not made of glass. It's like glass. It's hard, like a piece of molten looking glass. It's hard and like, but you couldn't say that it was 10 feet or 20 feet away. You wouldn't know how far it was away. You'd only know if you went through it, and in order to go through it, you have to be going really fast, and you better have a heat shield, or you're just going to burn into little sparks. So that's my take. And yes, you're probably right. It's probably at about the Kármán line, like where the air stops or essentially stops. That's where I would say the firmament is. That's where the waters above begin. But yeah, Thomas Morgan put Enoch 18 winds firmament. I think the winds are actually holding the firmament up. And what the firmament is, I don't know. I don't know what it actually is. But we do know that the sun, moon, and stars are in the firmament. So I think it is exactly what you were saying, Dwayne. Space, whatever. Oh, let's see here. Tiger Bear says, how many directions are also places? That's a good question. Like that verse I was reading in Job, I can't remember what it was. Actually, I got it right here. Let me look at it. Or that was a different Job. That was different chapter. It was saying the north, though, it seemed like it was a place, not a direction. And then a lot of times in the Bible, it says, it acts like what we consider to be a direction, like on a compass, actually a place. That's a good point, Tiger Bear. Very interesting. Let's see here. That's right. I like this comment. Dwayne Glower says, these guys aren't messing around. There's going to be a war in heaven that it can't happen unless they get there. And you know what? That's something that I think is important. The beasts that Daniel saw, he saw 4 great beasts. All 4 of those beasts went up into the sky. Like the first one was lifted up from the earth. The second one was told to arise and devour much flesh. The third one had dominion of the host of heaven. Where's that? That's the sky. It had a dominion there. And the fourth one was dreadful and terrible, and it stamped the residue with its feet, and it broke in pieces. And then in Daniel 7, verse 17, it says, these great beasts, which are 4 kings that shall arise out of the earth. So all 4 of those beasts that Daniel saw, they're called kings. And those kings, they go from the ground up and leave the earth. This is what Daniel's describing. Visually, he's describing this. Thomas says Daniel 7, verses 3 through 7. So this is why my channel talks about rockets, is because the prophets described these things it's unmistakable. I mean, Zechariah 5, the angel asks him, what do you see? And he says, I see a flying roll, or a flying scroll. A flying scroll. And then he gives the size for it even. And the angel said, this is the curse. The curse, guys. This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Okay, so that's just one example. Enoch 57, he saw men riding in wagons or chariots, and they were coming on the winds. They were flying, you guys. Ooh, that's a good one. Phil 1476 says, winds holding up back water like Moses at the Red Sea. Totally. That must have been crazy to see that, huh? Thomas Morgan says, separation between earth and heaven, darkness. That's exactly what it is, too. Oops, let's see here. I'm checking out the comments because I love when you guys comment here. So what? Let's continue here. I'll try to read what Elon is saying. So full and rapid reusability, like an aircraft. He's picturing rockets flying and leaving the earth to be repeatable, and so that one single rocket could do many, many, many flights. Like how many flights does a 747 do in its lifetime? More than one. And that's why rocketry is so expensive. Well, he's trying to get the price down. So do you guys notice his shirt too? Occupy Mars. Just think about what that is. First of all, it's telling everyone that he believes Mars is a place to occupy. So that right there, that's what Lucifer, he's a Luciferian. He just doesn't know it. That's what Lucifer wants. He wants to ascend into the sky. So that's an important thing. I'll see if I can read what he says here. So it's just very hard to achieve full reusability given the strength of Earth's gravity field and the density of the atmosphere. So it's like the limit. And actually, you guys, I want to not be pausing this so much, but what he just said right there, I think God mentioned that to Ezekiel, and I'm not kidding. He said, so I have set it far from them, talking about, that was in Ezekiel 7, I think. Let me just look it up real quick. Ezekiel 7. I just want to share this. When I read these things, certain things pop out at me, and it just seems like this is the peak, this is the top, the maximum of what mankind can do. I'm just saying it's the height of all scopes. There's no one that's trying to do anything more I don't know what the right words are. Let's see what it says here. As for the beauty of his ornament, he set it in majesty, but they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them. And I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey and the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. He's talking about his sanctuary, guys. So I have set it far from them. So I think what that means is it's going to be a challenge for them. So anyway, like relatively easy on Mars, which has around, this is all BS, but which has around 37 to 38% of Earth's gravity and about 1% atmospheric density. Sure, Elon. It's just barely possible to achieve reusability on Earth. It's not as though, you know, all the rocket engineers in the past, that it never occurred to them. Okay. This is not going to be a good way to do it. That'll take forever. I don't want to do that, but that's what his goal is. That's what he wants to do. So keep that in mind. He wants to create a world for humanity. Doesn't it seem like that's kind of blasphemous towards what God did? God created the world for humanity. So Elon's the only guy in this world trying to do that. There's nobody else trying to do that. He's trying to occupy Mars. No one else is. No one else is even looks at it in a way where it's achievable. But look at what he's doing. He's spending all the money that he's the richest guy in the world. And he's spending all of his money that he can to try to go to Mars. So let's see here. I think that's probably all I need to show you from this video. But yeah, let's see. What else could I show you? Let's just do some Google image searches. I just want to show you Starship 24, I think. Let's see. Raptors. Oh, that would be Booster 7. Sorry. It just did it like in the last couple days. So here's what it looks like before the engines are on it, right? Right there on the, I'm hoping that you guys are seeing. I hope I didn't screw up and, okay, good. I thought for a minute that I was doing what I usually do and screw up and forget that you guys are not seeing what I think you're seeing. So then this is a older picture, but that's the kind of engines that go on there. And that's the craziest rocket engine that exists. It's well, now they're calling it a version 2 Raptor. Here's the newer one. So that's what it looks like when that is actually, let's see here, Booster 4. So that's not the right one. The one they're on right now is Booster 7. I think the one that they're going to try to fly is Booster 7. So I guess there's really not many pictures of that. Maybe this is one. No, this is the old one. But yeah, the booster has 33 engines, and then the Starship, let's see, I'll go back to, I saw a picture of it. The Starship looks like this underneath. It's got these bigger nozzles, and then just 3, And actually, it's going to have more than this. I don't remember how many. 6, maybe? 6 of the Raptors. But yeah, these are so that it can propel its way through that vacuum of space. Oh yeah, the moon during the daylight. That is super cool. Deb Woods says, I love seeing the moon during the daylight. Flat Earth Nation, welcome. Says that the moon was spectacular last night and it will be better tonight. The moon is so crazy. So I was talking with someone and they were telling me that the moon had to be a sphere. And I said, well, it could look like a sphere, but that doesn't mean it's a sphere. We only see one side of it. We don't see the edges of it or any other part of it. We just see what we call half of the sphere, right? Well, I can also show you a picture of the moon. Let's look at one. Just for fun. This is interesting. It's just a something to think about. Moon. Okay, so let's look at a spherical looking picture. How do I get this picture to be bigger? I don't know what to do here. Open link in new tab. Maybe. It's probably just going to give us the Wikipedia page, not the image. Okay, let's see if... See, it says near side of the moon. That's the only side of the moon, you guys. Okay, so there we are. Oops, there we are. Okay, so I would say myself, let me get Flat Earth Nation down. I would say myself that when I look at this, it appears to be half of a sphere, right? Let's see if I can just move around a little bit to show you what I'm saying. It appears to be half of a sphere, doesn't it? Would anyone agree? But did you notice that the screen you're looking at it on is not a sphere? It's a flat screen on your phone or your computer or your whatever your tablet or whatever you're watching on. Flat things can look very spherical. Do you get what I'm saying? Let me go zoom back out. It appears to be spherical, but it's flat as far as your screen that you're looking at it. It's flat. So what if the sky was flat and the moon was flat and it looked like a sphere? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we'd have no way of knowing. We have no way of saying, yeah, it's a sphere because I see it. Well, if you're going to say that, then you'll certainly be one of the ones that says the Earth is a sphere because you've seen it from space. Okay, let me give an example how that is a little ridiculous. Can you see the next time zone? No, you can't. Like when the sun, I mean, you could see the sun from the next time zone, but when the sun goes down for you, like when it goes down below the horizon or whatever you want to call it, when the sun sets, how far away would you have to drive if you could pause the motion of the sun? If you could pause it, how far would you have to drive over till you could see it again? So in your part of the world, the sun is going over you. As it's going over you, it's also going over all the time zones around you. You can't see that far. You can't, like, when you look all the way to the sun and it's setting, it can't be that far away because you could drive or fly or whatever a couple states over or however far, and you're going to see the same thing that you saw where you were earlier. It's like it's the same for everybody on Earth. Just like they say gravity's towards the center of the sphere. No, that's not at all true. Gravity, what they say to be gravity, like a downward force or whatever, like when you take a pencil and you drop it, it does a straight line towards the ground, straight down, the opposite of straight up. Like, it's not going towards the center of anything. That's just an idea. It's actually going straight down to the ground. What's making it do that? Reality. That's everyone in the world experiences the same thing. If you hold something in your hand and let go of it, it's going to drop. straight to the ground. It's not going towards the center of anything. Maybe if we lived on a sphere, it could be going towards the center, but that's just an idea. That's what I think is important. It's just an idea. They say gravity this and mass attracts mass. That's an idea. That's not something, just like when we look at the planets. When we look at the planets through our telescopes, what do they look like? Actually, I had a video. I'll grab another video. I'll see if I can find one nice thing about StreamYard is that I can actually play videos that I can't play with my... Oh, I must have deleted some videos. Let's see here. I'm going to try to find a video of a star or something. Or actually not a star, but a planet. I'm sorry. Because I want to show you, where would that be? I don't even know where I would have that stuff. Let's see, maybe here. No. Oh, I know what's going on. StreamYard will only play certain formats. That's what's going on. Let me try to find something. That's iPhone videos. Camera roll. There we go. Yeah. So here is, let's watch, this is Jupiter. This is through my telescope. It'll be coming up here in just a second. Okay, here's Jupiter from my telescope. And it's not edited or anything. So, and it's a little fuzzy because it's StreamYard. But when it gets towards the center, it'll focus a little bit. Let me turn the sound off. Okay. There's Jupiter. Now, they say planets. They're all sorts of different things. Jupiter's a gas giant. So that's gas. That's what they say. They say that's gas. That's not a place you could land. You couldn't actually land on Jupiter because it's a gas giant. Unless you think you can stand on gas. Like that isn't, I don't know why it's not playing. Probably because uh-oh. Let's see here. Now my Google Chrome isn't responding. Oh no. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to play that video. Oh, maybe we're back. No? All right, I'm going to try to remove that. Oh, now it's trying to play it, and my mouse isn't working. Sorry, guys. But what is Jupiter? Really? What is it? I can't get this off the screen now. Is my computer going to do this again and like ruin my stream? It's going to do that. Thomas says, sorry, I messed up your live, Joe. No, you didn't.